Alright, hello everybody. My name is Jake. I'm going to be taking you through Nidora City. I just posted this not too long ago, and a few Valheim building groups, and I had a lot of interest in doing a video walkthrough once it was mostly decorated, and we're kind of to that point. So to start off, I am the sole creator of Nidora on our server. I had some help decorating, I'd say about 50% of the buildings from the other server owner, Black Market. He's a very close friend of mine, and we share a lot of like-mindedness in our builds. Nidora was kind of a big idea I had starting, I don't know, mid last year, and to see it finally come to full realization is something special for sure. Um, I do have the frame rate limited to 30 FPS in this video just because of how resource intensive it is in here. And I do apologize. Some of this fog will go away over time. It's just, weather effects. We'll start off by saying this is the first building here that I built in Nidora. It basically was just a flat field that I had cleared out in the Black Forest here. And this was the first building. I didn't know what it is. I still don't know what it is. It's not decorated. I was going to make it some sort of like governmental building, but it just hasn't been finished yet. I don't really know where to go with it or what to do with it. It is fully functional. It does work. You can decorate and use it, but yeah, not finished with it. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. If you have any ideas, a comment would be much appreciated. Let's see if I can get down here. Alright. Hopefully this fog goes away soon. It kind of ruins a lot of it. We'll start off on this side, and I apologize. This tour might be a little sporadic. The layout of Nidora is not very conventional for a walkthrough. It's laid out kind of like a regular city. So we'll start with this house here, which is kind of like the governor / mayor's house. So it'll be like a more upscale house. And you'll see a lot of overlapping, kind of repeating decorations and whatnot in this, just because we only have so much to work with. And being the mayor / governor, he's a little corrupt. That's kind of what we got going. And then this is just a wolf head adornment that I shoved a, let's see here, what are they called? This guy. Nope, not a wisp. It's like a wisp, but basically it doesn't fly away. Use those a lot for added in effect on certain items. Yeah, this is just kind of a cozy little house. I do really like the architecture on this one. It's a very interesting laid out house. I did kind of some pulled out beams in the front here to give it some dimension in the front. And then we will go to this part here, which goes up to the wall. And this whole wall does have different guard lookouts. You can walk the whole wall. There are multiple points to get on it. Maybe I'll finish by walking the whole wall. Not sure here, but you can kind of see the idea of that. Alright. We'll continue further down. Once we go further down here, I got kind of this little small park area with a little deer statue and just kind of a little nice area here. And we'll cut right before we go further down. This is the backside of the inn. You can go inside there, but there's a walkthrough path. There's actually a room right above us. That is the Drunken Goblin. But I'm going to backtrack a little bit so we don't miss anything here. Here is the herbalist hut. And then this is meant for like a lox pen or a mount pen. I have some cloudberries in the corner. There's nothing too special about it. Still have to figure out how we're going to change the gates to allow for larger animals in here. Next to the government building, we have just a small sitting area. I did sub in a lot of these mountain brazier kits just because they don't emit smoke, so it's a lot more helpful for the frame rate, and also you don't have to fill them, so they stay lit. You don't have to run around filling them constantly. I guess we'll go to the herbalist hut here. So in here Just used a bunch of barrels of different ingredients that would be used in a herbalist hut. We got the mortar and pestle here. Just kind of gave it a little bit of a earthy, witchy vibe, I guess you could say. Back here we have two of the gardens that they would use. Alright, we'll run to the next building here. I'm going a little quickly. If you have any questions about any of the buildings or want a further dive in, just ask. I'll be more than happy to oblige. Alright, down here we got a little market stand. Nothing too special there. Little sitting area. You'll see, obviously, wards everywhere because I don't want spawns happening in Nidora. Going here. This would be like your tavern. So you got a bunch of seating, a bar. I did have two traders spawned in back here, but they clip through the floor and end up underneath the building, which is kind of annoying. Some more seating area here. Full kitchen. And then if we actually go out, there's two doors here into an open patio area with more seating. And then before we go any further down, a quick run back and go into the Nidora Inn here. This does have a trader in here, a Hildir. Just some keys for the room, a chest, nothing too fancy. I had to start limiting what I was placing because of how bad the frame rate was getting. Once we get down into the town square there, you'll see a lot more in-detail decoration. It takes up a ton of resources. Up here we have Suite 3, which is like the master suite, I guess you would say. Alright, and we will go out the back door here. And then on the side, I'm sure you guys kind of saw, this was going to be the innkeeper's building, but I just turned it into the master teleporter hall for right now. To get here, so you're kind of in the middle of town. Alright, so this would be the back of the drunken goblin. It goes into the kitchen there. So on the side, I guess we'll kind of cut to this side and just work our way across. Got a couple of upper commons houses. So just, it's pretty standard layout for a house. 2-floor, nothing too special. Then we'll go into the neighbor's house here. Single floor. Oop, forgot to change that fire out. Oh, there we go. This is the back of the wizard's tower here. I apologize, the frame rate's dipping a little bit here. Lots of in-depth gardening and detail. Everything was hand-placed by me with plant everything. A mixture of plant everything and dev commands. This is another way just to get up onto the wall here that surrounds the whole city. Kind of go back up this way, and next we'll head into the wizard's tower. And this one was a really fun build for me because I wanted to push myself to do an extremely in-detail, unconventional build. I watch a lot of 9byte and whatnot to get inspiration, and it started off as kind of this town square here, and I was thinking to myself, well, every fantasy town kind of has a wizard or some sort of political wizard to help guide or protect the city. So on the bottom, we just have kind of junk, and I really went with wizards being messy, kind of hoarders more than anything for inspiration on this decoration up here. So when I decorated it, I just kind of went a little hog wild with the placement, made it a little sporadic. We just got some potions, place to cook some potions, herbs, random things. Some armors, some staffs. Obviously the Golder table. It's kind of like a little den up here. I enjoy it. Jump down. And we will start with the center of town here. So this is the main responsibility for the frame rate being so low. I will start off by saying the bakery, the butcher, the tailor shop, and part of the potion shop were decorated by Black Market. He is a very talented decorator. He understands kind of what I was going for. So we'll start with the tailor shop here. Got some gifts up top and some random hats hanging up. And then upstairs would be the tailor's living accommodations and where they would make their creations. And downstairs would be their storefront. And we'll hop over to the bakery. Lots of pies, fish and breads, wraps, just general food more than anything. The only thing in this door right here is another ward. Go up here to their living accommodation. And there's some beams in the roof here and some storage. Nothing too fancy. And we'll head over to the butcher here. This was also done by Black Market. So he had the clever idea of putting a bunch of raw food over a fire and then deleting the fire, and it worked. Everything stayed, so that turned out real good. He kind of did it all over the place. And then he also had the clever idea of spawning in some meat piles from some other areas in the game and then covering it to make it look kind of like a garbage with the flies. It's pretty clever. And we'll head upstairs to their living accommodation. I believe they have a small workshop up here. And then a small bedroom. Looks like there was torches in here, but they've since run out. We'll cut back across. So I decorated the general goods shop. I just needed something that you could sell, cups and random general goods at. So there's a little bit of everything in here, lots of crates. This was courtesy of Black Market. Oh, looks like we had a treasure chest fall over here. So some of these barrels and treasure chests actually have collision. So they like to fall. Just get rid of it, but. And then we'll head upstairs to this living accommodation. And I did kind of a bigger one. So they have a storage area to the right, and then I kind of made this workbench where they might craft some goods to sell. There's the bedroom. And then above, there's just a little hangout get-together spot. So table, chairs, drinks, things of that nature. Loft. We will head over to the potion shop next, which I think I'm right in saying is my all-time favorite shop that we have here in Nidora. It was a combination of Black Market and I decorating this one together. And it came together so perfectly. So we kind of went with apothecary, messy vibe again. We can only spawn so much before the frame rate gets so low. That black metal chest will eventually not be there. I think it's full of overused inventory that we're using to place things down. Head upstairs. So this is a 3-level building. On the second level here, there is the workshop where they would craft potions. These are just sap extractors with those same I-tier balls kind of shoved in there. Or wisp balls, rather. And then we'll head upstairs to their living accommodation. Just some more storage here. Small fire. living space. I would also like to say that every chimney here that you see is fully functional with a real fire. Every single one had a real fire in it, so they all work perfectly. So if we ever list this save file for a download that will be used as a roleplay map, you can actually put real fires in all of the buildings. Right, and then this just kind of goes up back into the little park area that we were at, and I'll just kind of do a little fly around of these buildings. Apologize, it's a little quick here, but alright. So let's head down into the lower commons and stores of Nidora. This would be the second half here. Some of these buildings are not fully decorated. I believe this in here is not fully decorated. The bar below is. And then there is an armory and a weaponsmith that is not fully decorated just because of how poor the frame rate is over there. I wanted to get this video out before it was too horrible to try and film. So upstairs here is just two mirrored rooms that will eventually be master inn suites that you can rent from the bar downstairs. It's not decorated, so obviously not fully realized yet. Downstairs, bar is mostly decorated here. Kind of went with like a dirty cellar bar vibe. So we'll exit out to the street. And then, let's see, out there will eventually be a full shipping yard. I have not even started on that yet. It is going to be just as big a project as Nidora itself. So we're going to wait, play Ashlands, have some fun with that, see what new building pieces we get. And then further go ahead along with the project. This right here is the Wolves Den Forge. This is like the master forgery for metallurgy and whatnot in Nidora. Kind of had a idea for like a, I don't know, some sort of like reception desk or something up here. And then down here is the master forge area. So you have your black metal forge, your standard forge, all the tools, yada yada yada. It's not anything too crazy special. Over here, I had the idea of a blast furnace kind of dumping into a glowing metal ore. So it kind of looks like it's fresh metal down there. And it is all fully functional. You can get behind it and whatnot. And then over here we just have storage for some stone and coal. This was kind of going to be some sort of rail system that I was going to do throughout the whole building, but it ended up not working the way I wanted. I just kind of left it at that. Spawned a verger hook here. There are two furnaces dumping into two separate fire pits here, and I believe there's some glowing metal in there as well, which is why it's so bright. And then we have just your standard kilns, and that's the giant forge. This took a very long time to create. The building constantly was falling down. Had to figure out a lot of support for it. I'll head this way. This side of Nidora will be more commons as well. So I just got some kind of wagon storage up here, some wildlife. I think we'll end it in this section here, so we'll go down here to some more common houses. These are all just small, individual little homes. I tried to build the city, and then I packed as many houses as I could in there. Kind of how a real city would be built back in this time. So a lot of it feels very claustrophobic and small, which really adds to the ambiance of the city. Now, all these buildings are bespoke. None of them are copy-pasted, anything like that. They're all hand-built. Some wood, another way to get up on the wall there. And over here was kind of the lower commons area where it'd be, I don't want to say slums, but, you know, just poorer people. Maybe people that work in the shipping yard, something like that. here? I believe I did. Yep. I experimented with some bunk bed ideas. It worked out pretty good. Head in here. We're building. Nothing too special. Alright, and that is this side of Nidora. So let's head across here. So this kind of looks out. It's built over a ravine here. Alright. This building here is 3 houses in one building. It's kind of like a... I wanted to do some sort of like compact housing, but I didn't want to build an apartment building because that just wouldn't fit. So there's some interesting layouts for housing in here. This one's just the L kind of outside piece of it. I'll run around to the middle here. This one is very vertical. Couple of beds up here. And the last one is on this side. This one's got a small loft in it. Nothing too special. Just a cozy little area. And then, I guess we'll head this way first. This right here is eventually going to be the armory. Now, this building here was extremely challenging to build because it is so large inside with so little support. It is not full yet because this area of the map, when I have recording turned off, graphics turned back up and whatnot, and I'm actually playing the game, it dips down into the single digits. So we haven't decorated these yet. Eventually there'll be a bunch of different armor sets, possibly a workshop in here. It is just a massive, massive, massive single floor building, and I kind of wanted to go with this open space vibe. I just wanted to see how big I could really go before the building started falling in on itself. And then this is just one of the giant's helmets from Mistlands spawned here to signify it's the armory. And then this is partially decorated. This will be the weaponsmith. Again, sword from the Mistlands. And so there will be 2 counters here. This fire is typically going. Not too special the building. And then there'll be a bunch of weapons lining the walls and whatnot in here. And maybe on some like item stands or something in here as well. Okay, it's those 2. So if we come around here, some more commons houses, and then these will be kind of the upper class commons going back onto this side of Nidora. Missed a tiny little piece. There we go. Here's one of the smallest ones. Nice little area. This would be the south gate of Nidora, and there is a guard tower here, along with a way to get up to the wall here. Come back around to this house. Now this house has 3 levels. Coming on this side. Main floor is just kind of your regular hangout area. Downstairs is kind of a cellar for goods. And then upstairs, just a bed. We'll run back here. Another house. I think that's all that's going to be back here is a bunch more housing. Just upper scale housing more than anything. Like I said, just try to jam pack as much as I could in the space that I had. Just to really give it a feeling of being a cramped city with a bunch of life in it. think this house is actually attached to the wall. Yep. You can kind of see the wall poking through there. Downstairs, just got a table. Upstairs, some beds. I believe the last two houses are over here. This one has a special little loft in it with some seating area below. I hear a troll. I have to go take care of that quick. And this is the last house. A small little house. Why don't you go find this troll quick? Some walkways around Nidora here. We spawned water in here, which actually worked pretty well. Did create some odd puddles. There he is. Oh man, he's in there, isn't he? Okay, got rid of him. That way goes to my personal town of Old Oak, which is like a rundown nature city. That'll be a separate video and posting eventually. That was done with just base Valheim building. There's no spawning there, no extra dev bits, no mods for building over there. Nidora has obviously quite a few different mods to be able to make this place so special. Actually, I do want to caveat by saying we did have plant everything for Old Oak, so we were able to just plant a bunch of foliage in there. We have towns all over the place. We have a mountain town up there. I won't go too into detail about that because I did not build it. A lot of these roads and whatnot are serviceable. Here's a broken mod. I'm still working on the road here. Eventually, there will be a road that cuts through to go up this way, and I'm working on building a stave church on this spot. It will be a while out, but other than that, that was Nidora City. If you have any questions at all, any interest, or maybe any interest in joining the server as a builder, we are looking for a couple more people to join us. We're pretty lax on most of our rules. We haven't written anything out yet, but we'd have to sit down and figure it out. I mean, our server has probably 5,000 to 6,000 man hours in it at this point in time. So, yeah, that's Nidora. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. Have a good one.